Welcome guys, this is how I train Z-Image Turbo LoRAs on an RTX 3070 with 8 GB of VRAM. I want to show you guys how it's done and how you really don't need a lot of VRAM if you want to train a LoRA in Anima, Z-Image, Z-Image Turbo, HiDream, Ernie Turbo, and people are saying that they've even been able to train the new Ideogram 4 with as little as 12 gigabytes of VRAM. I'm also going to be testing out in a future video if we can train Flux2's Klein 4B model. They say you need 24 gigabytes of VRAM, but let's see. Maybe it's possible now with less, maybe it's not. But currently I'm getting really good results, and I'm training these LoRAs for Z-Image Turbo in under 4 hours. And that's using the 512 by 768 pixels and using over 2,000 steps. And so what's the secret sauce? How am I doing it so fast? Also, when I'm training in Anima LoRA, that's going to be in the next video, I'm able to do it in under 2 hours. And that's using a resolution of 1024 pixels. But how the heck am I doing that with 8 gigabytes of VRAM? Well, stay tuned. I'm going to explain it all so it's easy to understand. Really, this is a dumb tutorial. Anyone can do it. I'm going to give you the config file. That's where most of the magic is happening. How did I figure out? Well, I sat down with my language model and we went over the GitHub database. We looked over some problems people had, some little known solutions people had, and we basically tried them all out until we had the best possible combination. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get in. First of all, take a look at these LoRAs. Look how well they turned out. They've been posted on Civitai, so anyone can download them. And all the epochs are available for members on my Ko-Fi. Go ahead and sponsor me there because I need to upgrade to build my AI supercomputer, because in the near future, I'm going to be building a Kickstarter campaign for a brand new illustrious Z-Image Turbo fine-tuned. So I'm going to need a bit of hardware to do that, but more info on that later. So if you look at these characters, you're like, wow, how'd you do that? How'd you get the database? Well, that's where some of the secret sauce comes in. But before I explain all that, let's just jump into the intro. Everything here is generated using AI, specifically a custom LoRa that I trained myself with a RTX 3070, 8 gigabytes of VRAM. That's $400. Look at the rally from Dr. Slump. I have Diana from Pragmata. Now, interestingly enough, that LoRa got a lot of trouble because Civitai was blocking it. Patreon didn't like it, so yeah, go figure. A video game character LoRa, you know. We've also got Kratos. He turned out really good on Anima. I'm surprised how good the Anima LoRAs are. Even if you want to go for that CGI like realism, it's really good. I don't want to go with ultra realism on Anima, focusing on CGI characters. If you wanted to do like a real person, go with HiDream, Ernie, Z-Image Turbo, Klein, Ideogram. Those are more suitable. Anima was never designed to be an ultra realism model, but it handles really good CGI. So I'm going to share all the tools, how I did it. It's an impressive guide, and it's going to be really easy for you guys to follow along. First of all, what the heck is Z-Image Turbo? Well, before we go into training, you need to understand what Z-Image Turbo actually is, because it's not stable diffusion, it's not flux, it's something else. Z-Image Turbo is a step-distilled image generation model from Tongyi Mai. And what that means practically is it generates in 8 to 9 steps. And just last night on Reddit, someone was posting how there's a new Z-Image Turbo Plus Plus. I don't know if it's a model or a LoRa, but basically it's going to let you render your images in 2 steps. And they're claiming in their article, and I'll go ahead and give you the link to the PDF. I read it, and they're claiming that it is on par with the actual model. That's crazy. That has not been released. Again, I don't know if it's a LoRA or if it's a fine-tuned, but that should be coming out soon. I mean, why wouldn't it be? Because, Z Image Turbo is open source. So I'm hoping they release that. Z Image Turbo was trained on photorealistic CGI quality, and that's perfect for game characters. So you can do ultra realism, as the great Malcolm has shown on his Hugging Face. I'll go ahead and provide that link for you guys. He does real people, celebrities. You can't post that on Civitai because they have anti realism, anti-real people policy. So you can't publish that there. You can only publish like characters there. So video game characters like Link or Zelda, those are fine. CFG scale is always 1 if you're using Z Image Turbo. You don't need negative prompts. Not necessary. It's faster if you do 0 conditioning. Res Multistep or Euler are perfect samplers to use. That's up to you. That's basically it. And then you can use simple or beta. Now, the tools that you're going to need is the AI Toolkit Easy Install. Why the Easy Install? Because it's just a 1-click. You could go ahead and just git clone the actual repo. But I find the one installer is good because it has a 1-click update button, 1-click installer, and a 1-click bat file to just get it all running. So it will install all the dependencies for you, and it will create it in a virtual environment, so it's not going to break anything on your PC. I'll give you the link to his GitHub. It's super simple, and I've never had a problem with it. Or you could just git clone the actual repo. If you have any problems, just go ahead and load up ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini or Qwen or your local language model. They'll go ahead and help you out with any kind of dependency problems. Honestly, that's the best way to troubleshoot. I've never had a problem doing that. So after you've installed the AI Toolkit and all of its dependencies, then you are going to go into the Osterus AI Toolkit. So once you go into the AI Toolkit by Osterus, you go ahead and see that you have new job, the QU, the data sets, and the settings. So yeah, I have my Hugging Face token put in. I have folder for my data sets, everything's there, and you're just going to press save. If you want to know how to create a Hugging Face token, you're just going to log into Hugging Face and create a new token. I'll show you right now. Okay, so we're inside Hugging Face. You're just going to go down to Access Tokens, type in your password. I use Password Depot, so it saves all my passwords. Then you're just going to go ahead and press create a new token. Just click on the repositories, inference. I don't know, call it Osterus AI Toolkit. I don't mind showing you the path because I'm not going to use it. I'm going to delete it. So then it's going to give you this Hugging Face access token. You're just going to press copy, done, and you're going to paste it. I'm obviously going to delete it now that I've showed the whole world. And then you're going to go into the Osterus AI Toolkit. So once you're inside here, you're going to double click and paste and save the settings. It's easy peasy. Now, before you go to create new job, you're going to go to the QU. Look at that. I mean, all these LoRAs that I created really fast, 4 hours or less on 8 gigabytes of VRAM, no problem. So I'm going to go to data sets. If you look at my data sets, they are well captioned, and the images are all 1024 by 1280 pixels. I like to do the portrait style. I've created all these images, and you can see the character consistency. Never, ever, ever, ever use a white background, because then you're basically training it to do like sticker art. When you caption things, you definitely want to use a background that has something to it. It's okay to have other characters too, because you're training for the main character. Okay. So here you have the slime girl with her friends. Now everything is captioned, and you have to capture them so that they have the trigger at the beginning. Now, do you think I actually sat there and captioned all these images? No way. Let me show you how I did that. Same with Diana. How did I get all these images too? I just used one image of Diana to create all of these images. But how did I do that? Super easy. What you're going to do is you're going to take an image off the internet of whatever character you want to use, like let's say Diana from Pragmata. And then you're going to go into Comfy UI and you're going to load up Klein 9B. And then you're just going to load up the edit workflow. And from there, you're going to take her and put her in different poses. It's really important that you use things like the profile pose. And for that, I also had to get some screen grabs also for the behind pose so that it keeps the consistency of her suit, because she has this puffy jacket, but there's some shots where you want to play with the angles. Let's see if I can find the shot from behind. Yeah, here is a few shots from behind. Never name your character like Diana. I called her Diprag, Diana from Pragmata. If you call her Diana, you don't know, like, it's a real name, and you don't know what the data set has been trained with the original model. So you come up with a name, and that is going to be tagged in all of them. If we look at the Doom guy, again, I've created reference point out of one image. Yeah, it's true that sometimes the visor is green, sometimes it's red. No biggie, because I think it depends on the game whether it's Doom Eternal. But I think the visor can change between green and reddish orange. That's fine. I also wanted to trigger him so he didn't have a mask. So I wanted him with the helmet on, without the helmet. I even did him with Jinx. I don't want him always on his own. I want him in different lighting, because I know the Doom guy lives in a hellscape universe. But also I want him in broad daylight, and I want his uniform to be clear. Here we also want shots from the back. Okay, very important. Also without the helmet, with the sword, because sometimes he uses an energy blade, holding various weapons in the spaceship, fighting monsters. Here he is kissing Jinx, called the blue-haired companion. We don't want to trigger any names for anyone else who appears. So make sure your data set is really good. Also, make sure there's always 5 fingers. You don't want any data set where there's 4 fingers, or possibly this one I shouldn't have used because he looks like he's coming out of the ground, but it doesn't matter. The LoRA turned out really good. You want some close-up shots of the Doom guy. One of the recent ones I did is Freddy Krueger, so that was pretty tough. I would not do it again because the AI does have a hard time working his claws and also his burned attributes. So this took me forever to create this data set, and I would not do it again. Mario was super easy. He's a CGI character. And here I'm not calling him Mario. I'm calling him Mario Man with no A. Okay, super important that you use trigger words. Here we've got Damien from Brawl Stars. I just used a low resolution artwork from the game, and I had to prompt a lot because he has a helmet, a mohawk, long red hair. He has kind of a dragon belt buckle. He's got these leather tassels, spandex, metallic boots. One arm has a green metallic band, the other one has a spiky one. So it was a son of a bitch to render these properly. Also, he kind of has like this mascara or body paint. He has a scar on his chest. There's a lot to prompt for to create this data set. Wasn't fun, wasn't easy. Conquer was super easy, super fun. If you don't know who Conquer is, he comes from Conquer's Bad Fur Day. It's a 2000 game for the Nintendo 64. Was it the 64? Cool character. Now he's a badass. Now I'd got in trouble on Patreon for showing some violent images of Conker, but he's supposed to be like a Happy Tree Friends kind of character. He's vicious. He's rude. Anyways, I love Conker. His game is fun. Go ahead and play the emulated version now on your phone. I love Nintendo 64 games, and I had to do Conker. So again, I'm doing him in various poses, holding weapons, swimming. This is the actual reference image that I used. So here you see what he looked like, and then I'm rendering him in Flux's Klein 9B. I created the Claudebot, also a cool character. It's an OC character. Here's the Arali character from the late Akira Toriyama's Dr. Slump. Again, you want to create a vast data set where you're getting the character in different poses, doing different things, having different angles, close-ups, play with the lighting, play with the backgrounds, play with the vehicles. Here we have some more intense shading going on. Because we did this model in Z Image Turbo and also in Anima, and I think she turned out great in both. Really happy with that overall. Okay, so once you've got your data set, how the hell did I go ahead and caption them? Well, that's another part of the secret sauce. Let me go ahead and show you. To do that, you're going to go into LM Studio. It's free, it's open source. It couldn't be easier. The most important thing here is making sure you have the vision mode, and that's going to be signified under yellow. So here you can see all of my LLMs that I have, and you don't have to use the 12B version, but you're going to see it with the yellow vision. Okay, so usually I'm going to go ahead and use Gemma 4 E4B instruct cat. It's less than 6 gigabytes. It's going to get the job done. You can also use the Quen 3.5. But make sure it has that vision enabled. Here is my new LoRA that I'm working on, Deathclaw from Fallout. So I'm telling the AI model, you are an expert image captioner for AI training dataset. For each image you receive, write a single flowing natural language caption for use as a text training caption. You're captioning images of Deathclaw, a massive bipedal reptilian creature from the Fallout universe. Learn to identify its key features. So I'm not going to read everything here, but here I told it to capture the massive bipedal reptilian creature, walks hunched forward, crocodilian lizard-like face. Captioning rules always begin with, and here you use the trigger word. Here we use Deathclaw, but I'm not using any vowels because I don't want it to accidentally trigger something from its own database. Always describe it as a massive bipedal reptilian creature. And blah, blah, blah. I don't want more than 80 words. This is captioning. This is not to create, prompts in Comfy UI. And here I gave it an example. Deathclaw, massive bipedal reptilian creature with thick gray scaly skin and multiple large curved horns, sweeping back from its skull, glowing amber eyes filled with predatory fury. Okay, so this is the sample image I gave it. And here it went ahead and it read, Deathclaw, a massive bipedal reptilian creature with thick gray skin and multiple large curved horns sweeping back from its skull, blah, blah, blah. It caught the ruins. It showcased the enormous razor sharp elongated claws. Perfect. Powerful muscular digitigrade legs. What the fuck does that even mean? Heavy tail. Oh, good. It caught the tail. A heavy tail balances its frame as it roars into a dusty atmosphere under a dramatic orange sunset sky filled with smoke and rubble. Did a really good job. And you're going to go ahead and just load in the rest of your images and let it do the rest. Okay, let's get to the magic. You're going to hit new job, and you are not going to do anything here. What you're going to do is load the config file. And there's two ways of doing it. But the easiest way is just to go to show simple, and then you're going to import config, go to downloads, and here is Diana from Pragmata. Okay, now what you can also do is just press Control A and then you can also paste it. So you can also open that YAML file in your notepad, copy paste, that'll also work. And then you're just going to go to show simple. And so what this does is it loads everything in there. So let's say you were to do Desk Club and you would just change it to that, give it a new name, maybe Desk Closet. Here I just downloaded the adapter, so it's local. You could also download the file. If not, it'll just automatically download it for you. I'm going to also be testing how feasible it is to use the FP8 model, but it'll automatically download it, and you're going to select from the list. So far, with 8 gigabytes of VRAM, you can do Ernie image. You can do High Dream 01. You can do SDXL, which means you can also do Illustrious and Pony here. You can do Z image D Turbo, the L2P. I would love to do an L2P one just to test it out. It has no VAE, so that's pretty interesting. But right now, we like to do the Z image Turbo with training adapter. Okay, you definitely can't do LTX 2.3. You're going to need at least an RTX 5090. Don't even look at the video ones unless you have at least 32 gigabytes of VRAM. I think with the 3090, 4090, you could do it, but you'd be pushing it. Here we're going to select low VRAM and layer offloading. We're going to turn transformer offload percentage to 0. We're going to use the text encoder offload to 100. Very important here. We're going to use 4-bit. We're going to put the transformer in 4-bit. If you do float 8, it's going to take forever on 8 gigabytes of VRAM. You can go ahead and add float 8 if you've got at least 16 gigabytes of VRAM. So if you're running an RTX 5070 Ti or an RTX 5060 Ti, go ahead and throw on float 8. And then you can even turn off the low VRAM if you want and the layer offloading. Here we want at least a rank of 16. If you have an RTX 5060 Ti, go ahead and turn that to 32. But with 8 gigabytes of VRAM, keep it at 16. You don't want to put it at 8. 8 is just too low. My analysis showed that the LoRAs didn't turn out good below 16. 16 is the minimum. So here I like to save every 250. 2,000 steps is perfect. I've gone as high as 3,000. Just adds an extra hour. So up to you. 2,500 is fine. 3,000 is fine, but the sweet spot is 2,000. Go ahead and select your data set because we haven't made one yet for the Death Claw. It's not there, but you're going to go ahead and select your data set, and you don't need to put a default caption because we're not sampling. When you sample, it just adds more time. In my opinion, just go ahead and run it. Unless you have a crappy data set, just go ahead and run it, and you're going to hit disable sampling and skip first sample. Don't even worry about it. So that's why you don't need to fill anything in for the default caption because we have our trigger word up here. It's going to cache the latency, and we're going to use 512 and 768. Once that's done, you're going to hit create job. And then you're going to go ahead and press this run up here. I'm not going to run it right now because I haven't finished the Death Claw captioning, but that's how you would do it. Now, here's another problem, and that is you have a folder full of images, and they're not properly named, and they're not sequentially numbered. So I'm going to go ahead and give you this line of code, and you're just going to copy and paste it into PowerShell in the folder. So let's say you have 100 images in folder X. You're just going to open the folder, right-click, open terminal, and run the PowerShell command. That's it. It's going to rename everything. It's going to convert everything from .jpeg to .png, and it's going to rename everything sequentially from 001 and so on. Then when you go to LM Studio, you're just going to make sure you save the text file as 001, 002. Make sure it matches the image. Okay. So your data set is everything. A bad data set will lead to a bad LoRA. My process is 50 to 100 images. Before I would go up to 300. Now I'm not doing more than 100. It's not necessary. Variety is key. Different angles, different lighting, different poses. If you have 100 images, you're fine. 50 images, you're fine. I don't trust the people on Reddit who said they do 10 images or 20. I don't think that's enough. If you really want to capture the character and their emotions and their poses and their different angles, you need at least 30, but I would say 50 would be good. 50 or golden. Now that's not hard to do. You can go ahead and do that in Comfy UI using Flux's Klein 9B. And that's just a matter of trial and error, working at the poses, prompting it. You can go ahead and just use a ChatGPT to give you different poses and then just copy and paste it. So the process is quite seamless. You're converting everything to PNG because I find that works best. Although AI Toolkit says you can use JPEG, but let's just go ahead and do PNG. And then we're renaming them sequentially as 001, 002, and so on. I caption everything. This is the most important step that most tutorials skip or even rush. Don't use a cheap captioner. You want to use a vision model like Gemma 4 or Quen 3.5 or even Quen 2. VL, anything that has a vision model, you can use, and you can use it in LM Studio. Don't waste tokens on something like Claude or ChatGPT because you're going to burn through them captioning your images. It's far easier just to do it in LM Studio. But I guess if you don't and you're using RunPod to do stuff, then you may have to bite the bullet and maybe go ahead and use Gemini for that. Probably the cheapest option. You should always have your trigger word first, a physical description like hair color, eye color, skin tone, an outfit description. If it's something like Mario or Link or Donkey Kong, you do need to get those character traits out because you always want them appear in the image. Let's say it's a real person. So then you don't want to have it be specific on every picture about the hair color, the clothing. You want things specific to the person because people do change their hair color. Actors do. Unless you're going for a very specific, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, from the Terminator movie, then you do want to actually trigger the hairstyle, stuff like that. But you want to trigger things for game characters because that's how they appear and that's how they always appear. Like Diana from Pragmata with her long blonde hair, her blue puffy jacket, Conquer, the squirrel, his specific shoes, his hoodie and his shorts. All of that is important. You want to be specific, and when we're doing LoRAs for Z image turbo, you actually want to be verbose, but 80 to 100 words, no more than 100 words. And I showed you guys the config, and this is something that took me a while because all of the settings are what actually got my impressive results. For 8 GB of VRAM, it probably will work in 6, but haven't tried it out with that. I don't have 6, but I've tried the low car setting. It just took too long. There's something very important you got to know. And that is sometimes you'll be training an image and it'll look like it's giving you like 10,000 billion VRAM overflow. It's just a visual glitch. It will shut off or the GPU will not be showing if something went wrong. But if the GPU is still showing in the AI Toolkit, you're fine. It's just a visual bug. If you send that to ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini, it's going to say, oh no, nothing is reading, nothing is happening. The training is dead, but it's just a visual bug. This has been confirmed on GitHub. So a lot of people have reported this bug. You may see it. Honestly, the best thing to do is after it's loaded the text encoder and it starts training and you see that percentage number going, just go ahead and leave your computer and come back in 4 hours. Now, the quantization is uint4. This is where we get aggressive. Standard Z image turbo training uses float 8, but I found through a lot of research that if you switch to uint4, the more aggressive compression, it leaves a smaller memory footprint and gives you more VRAM headroom. So combined with the higher learning rate, the results improve significantly. We also want to do layer offloading, make sure that's enabled, and this is the secret weapon for 8GB cards. With layer offloading if active, transformer layers that aren't actively being trained get pushed to system RAM. You only keep what you need in the VRAM at any given moment. This is what makes the uint4 plus the 0.002 combination stable on 8GB of VRAM. And we do want to use the dual 512 to 768 pixels because we don't want to cheap out. If you just use 512, it's not broad enough to get the finer details as well. So the 512 will help you with all the broad captioning, and 768 will help with the finer details. If you have more VRAM, then you can go ahead and enable 1024. So the captioner has to learn from both of those pixels. The training adapter helps make sure that these point to your local copy of Z-Image Turbo Adapter 2. The adapter path is showing where your adapter is, and it just helps the process go a lot faster. Then once you're done, you're just going to go ahead and test those LoRAs out in your Comfy UI. You can use the final result, or you can use a few epochs before, test them all out and see which ones work best, and then go ahead and upload them to Civitai Red. I want to see what you guys can come up with. And if you have problems with data sets or other issues, perhaps I can make a tutorial on that. But I did want to deep dive and show you guys that even with a measly 8GB of VRAM, it's not a problem. You can do it. So don't worry. But let's go over some common mistakes. Before we wrap up, let's go through some of the common mistakes. The first one is using cosine LR scheduler. If you see your learning rate dropping from 1E to 0.4 to 0.5 to 0 during training, you have a cosine scheduler active, and it kills the learning rate towards 0, and your LoRa learns almost nothing in the final third of training. Remove the LR scheduler line from your config entirely. That is put in the config file, so you just have to load it and you don't have to worry. A second mistake is using the Hugging Face path for the training adapter. The adapter path in your config must point to a local file. If you paste the Hugging Face one, it will fail sometimes or download a wrong version. I don't know why, but it tends to be a bug. Mistake 3, no NVIDIA control panel fix. Very important. You're going to go to set your system memory fallback to prefer no system memory fallback before every training run. Seriously, it makes a massive difference to run stability. And mistake 4 is bad captions. If your captions don't describe the character's face specifically, like hair color, eye color, skin tone, the model learns the costume but not the face. Every caption needs the face descriptors. So everything I showed you today, the config, the captioning prompt, the NVIDIA fix is all in the description below. The config file is available on my Ko-Fi. I'll also provide you a link here. And on my Civitai page, I have all my LoRAs for you guys to download and play with. If you found it useful, go ahead and subscribe. And please subscribe to my Ko-Fi because I want to build a AI supercomputer so we can create a lot more LoRAs and also create a brand new fine-tune, bringing illustrious and noob AI to Z-Image Turbo. It hasn't been done. Nobody is doing it. Everyone says they're going to do this, they're going to do that, but they're not. And, you know, the original team from Illustrious, they have a proprietary Z-Image Turbo that they're not releasing to the world. That's something we got to do ourselves, guys. So support me on Ko-Fi. All right, guys. See you again next time.
Every detail, every